Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your latest Manchester United news. Lots to get into as always. Long injury. How long with these new injury updates? We'll talk about that. Also, Mainoo, new contract, what's happening there? But I was laughing because there was a comment there from Bill Hogan in the live chat saying, if United pay over 50 grand a week to Mainoo, then they truly are finished. I mean, look, I'm all for opinion, and I think that's what makes life so great. But I mean, look, there's plenty of things that I think could finish Man United off. I don't think paying Mainoo over 50 grand a week is going to be the thing that destroys Manchester United, to be honest with you. But hey ho. A few bits to get into from the training ground, a few bits to get into around contracts, a few bits to get into around transfers. We certainly won't be signing one midfielder because he's just signed a new contract, and a couple of other bits as well. And it's an evening show. It's a little bit early for an evening show. We're 7 o'clock tonight, but we're back at 8 o'clock tomorrow night with the preview for Spurs. But you can always get your comments in and drive the show. That's what the evening show is all about. Drive your show. You might want to drive the show with something like this. Ruben Amorim had the best transfer window in Man United's recent history, and we sacked him. That might be a hot take, might be a crap take, but I'm just saying. Le Mans, Dorgu, Sesko, Cunha and Burmo. Where did he miss? Where did he miss? Where did he miss? Anyway, before we get into everything, we are sponsored by Boohoo Man tonight. That's why I've got my Boohoo Man hoodie on. It's a perfect fit. It's got its emblem on there. They do it in all sorts of colours. I want a red one. Send me a red one. I'll probably buy myself a red one because today's show is sponsored by Boohoo Man. We love Boohoo Man here. They give us a bit of trivia. They give us good clothes, and it's all at very good prices. And on top of their very good prices online, you can get an extra 10% off with the code Goldbridge by scanning the QR code or by going through the link in the description. You can do that, obviously, delivered to your door as well, boohooman.com. So if you fancy getting something warm and stylish for the winter season like this, click in the link in the description like that, or in the video description, or scan the QR code like that, and enjoy the awesome extra discount. Because if you use the Goldbridge 10% discount, you can use it on top of their site-wide discount. So if there's something on the site that's got 40% off, you can use the Goldbridge code and it'll get an extra 10% off that as well. And as always, Boohoo Man have got a bit of fun for us at the start of the show. So can you guess this player based on the clues I'm about to give you? I was born on the 21st of January 1975. They're older than me! Sit down, you're older than me. Not many of them are. I came through Man United Youth Academy and made my debut in 1992. Oh, it's got to be one of the class of 92 then. I made 270 appearances for United between 92 and 2004, mainly as a central defensive midfielder. I know who it is, but I might be wrong. I won 6 Premier League titles, 3 FA Cups, 4 Community Shields, the UEFA Champions League and the Intercontinental Cup. I joined Newcastle in 2004, lating spending time at Birmingham City before moving to South China in 2010. I forgot about that. I stepped down as CEO of Salford in 2024 to concentrate on my coaching. And I don't like Lisandro Martinez. I added that one in. It is, of course, Nicky Butt. So if you didn't get that one, you should have done. Big thank you to Boohoo Man for making the show interesting. And don't forget you can get an extra discount with the code Goldbridge, 10% off. Check out these hoodies. They're great. They really are great. Really comfortable, good fit, and nice cotton as well, which I like. I like to go all cotton these days. I don't know whether that's an age thing. Right, who remembers Nick Cotton from EastEnders? He was a bit of a shit, wasn't he? Anyway, poor Dot. Rest in peace. The point is, we're here to talk about Man United news, and we've got some updates for you. We're going to start with the training ground. Manchester United back in training today. Obviously, having played on... When did we play? Who did we play? Oh, no, we played Fulham. Fulham on Sunday. So Man United back in training today. I don't know whether they were back in training yesterday. Sometimes they give them 2 days off with 1 game a week. Carrick's very much big about rest and recuperation. Well, it's a new injury blow for Manchester United because De Ligt is still not back in training and neither is Mason Mount. So not necessarily new news in relation to the injuries, but we've been told De Ligt's going to be back for about 3 weeks now, and every start of the week, I think we're going to get a picture of De Ligt back in training. We're not. He's not back in training still. So the De Ligt injury goes on for another week. Really disappointed. How long? That's what she said. But no, seriously, how long is it going to go on for? I can't... I mean, that would have been a quiz question for Boohoo Man. What was De Ligt's last game? I don't remember. I'm tempted to say, was it Was it after the international break in November or was it before? I don't know. But a long, long time. And look, he wouldn't be starting, but we do need him back. Maguire ain't going to do a Luke Shaw, is he? Well, then again, the World Cup is getting close. Maybe he will. But I do feel like we have got cover. We've got Yoro in heaven. I would like Dillit back. Right before the Wolves away game, says Rooney. So right at the start of December. So yeah. Mason Mount also out as well. They said it wasn't for long, but he wasn't back in training today. So will he be back for the Saturday game? I mean, I said it in the watch along. You might have missed it. So I'll say it on a more longevity show. Mason Mount's got to go. It's sad. He seems like a nice lad. But that's not enough, is it? I mean, I've lost count of the amount of injuries he's had this season. I think it's 6+ injuries this season. Because injuries can be a couple of days. Even Transfer Market isn't recording it properly now. They've only got him down as having 4. He's definitely been out at least 6 times this season. That's not counting last season or the season before. So the reoccurrence of injuries for Mason Mount are incredible. He is well liked. I know some of you don't, but I think the vast majority of us do like Mason Mount. And when he has played this season, he has done okay. But there's no point. There's no point having a player that you can't build anything with. And it was about a year ago where they said the injury problem is so bad that they just can't get a grip on it. They were talking about an operation. They didn't do it, which obviously means it won't solve it. So I don't know. I think Mason Mount probably ends up just being a player that sees his contract out for the next 4 years and then we let him go. And goes down as one of the worst signings we've ever made because we bought him at 24 or 25 for 55 million with a year left on his contract. We gave him 250 grand a week and he can't play. So what are you supposed to do? You can't do much about it. People say sell him. I think gone are the days where clubs are stupid enough to do that. So we'll probably just have to keep him as a bench player and use him as and when. Yeah. Do you think there will be another end of season tour, says Jacob? I'm still waiting on the Saudi tour, to be honest with you. Where are these Saudi games to earn 5 million quid? I mean, we need the money. We really do. Which brings me on to Mainoo. Now, there's been a few things going on about Mainoo today. I don't think the sources were that good, so I did a little bit of digging myself. What's going on with Mainoo and his new contract? So, hot off the press, United are really eager to get this Mainoo deal done ASAP. We're talking they'd do it tomorrow if they could. Talks have been taking place. Reassurances have been given. Mainoo's a big part of the plan. Last time he sat down and had a conversation, he was part of the plan and he sat on his arse for 4 months. So he wants reassurances. He wants a better wage. He's a starting player for Manchester United and he wants a better wage. I think he's rumoured to be on about 50 grand a week with bonuses, etc. So he wants to go up to about 150 is the rumour. United are negotiating on that at the moment, and also he wants reassurances on his playing time, which I think everybody's fair to ask that. When is it going to happen? Well, get ready for the words. It's like a new signing. United see this as a major scoop story between January and the summer to go and make themselves look good. So if they can get the Mainoo deal done somewhere between now and April, it's like, look at what we've done. We look really, really good. It's positive news towards the ownership. So they are really desperate to get this going, which feeds into Mainoo's hands, really. He should be able to get the wage he wants and he should be able to get the terms he wants because United are very desperate. Because this is cheap. It's not like a new player at all. A new player costs you £80 million and 200 grand a week. Signing a youth player to a more permanent contract will cost them about 100 grand a week. I mean, it's going to be 100 grand a week uplift. Comparatively, that's 5 million, isn't it? So it's very, very cheap. It needs doing, and they see it as a big news story that will be like a new signing for them. So expect that to happen very, very soon between February and April so they can go, look at what we've done ahead of the summer, positivity, Carrick's at the wheel, and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah. My thoughts on it, though, good. I mean, look, we know the game. We've played the game. We know exactly what they're doing. But for me, this is something we should have done last summer. I don't know why we didn't do it last summer. Were we looking to force him to the door? I mean, there are people in United who feel that obviously Amorim is the guy that wouldn't pick him, but United weren't the board that was telling him to. The board weren't putting any pressure on him. In fact, Wilcox sacked Amorim because he wouldn't change his formation and he wanted signings. It's got nothing to do with Mainoo. I'm surprised United haven't tried to use that to make themselves look good. But at no point was there a conversation from Wilcox or Barada or Sir Jim Radcliffe about why is Mainoo not playing. That wasn't the issue. The issue was they wanted to play a back four, and they didn't want to spend in January. So let's not forget, like, there's a very interesting theory that it was in United's interests that Mainoo didn't play so they could sell him for pure profit like they did with Garnacho. And they were looking to do that a year ago as well. So remember, it was Mainoo's side that were baffled between January a year ago and the summer when Mainoo kept getting linked to leaving and demanding 200 grand a week because it wasn't coming from Mainoo's side and they were very confused, i.e. confused with the club as to why they were briefing or letting it out there that he wanted those wages. So look, maybe they were looking to the exit door, but now that we are where we are, thankfully that's not going to happen, and Mainoo should be part of our future for the next, hopefully, 10 years. So get the contract signed. I don't mind about the wage. Obviously, I was partially joking at the start when somebody in the chat said, if United give Mainoo more than 50 grand a week, they're truly finished. I mean, look, we probably get a little bit over the top about wages. I mean, there are fans who get really excited about the wage bill coming down. I can't understand that. I'd get excited about the wage bill going up because I'd be thinking we're buying good players. I don't get the point of, we're not accountants, we're football fans. So I'm not that bothered about the wage bill coming down. I think a fair wage for Mainoo, and I don't know whether they do these sort of things, would probably be 125k a week with a bonus structure and a review in it. I mean, look, he's 20. It's been a weird last 18 months. Even before Amorim came in, he wasn't playing that well after the Euros. I think he'd had a couple of injuries. So we need to get him back to where he was. We need that consistency. So I'd be saying 125k a week with the ability to review it in a year or two, and some achievable bonuses in there. I think that would be about right. I mean, I certainly wouldn't be going anywhere near 175 or 200, and you could argue 150 is a bit steep, but I'm not that bothered if they do give him 150 because I know what they give Luke Shaw. So, and they were paying Ericsson that. So look, it's not that deep. He's not going to get 250 grand a week, is he, at the end of the day? One and only says, imagine Mainoo is one of the two centre midfielders from Glinios. I didn't realise what you meant for a moment, but now I do. So yeah, he's one of the new signings. Yeah, well, wouldn't put it past them. Do you remember Alan Smith? Why he didn't work for us, says Chickens Colony. If it's the Alan Smith from Leeds, which it must be, he had a very, 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 very bad leg break. A weird leg break at Anfield, where I think Liverpool fans actually rocked the ambulance he was in. That was the story. But basically, it was a free kick. I think it was John Arisa who could smash it. And he smashed the ball. And Smith went to block it. And it broke his leg or ankle really bad from the impact of the ball. It was a weird one. Do you think there will be another end of season tour? We've done that from Jacob. Seriously, how many sick notes do we have? Why do we even recruit Mount? He misses more games than the plague. Did the plague miss many games, Mike? I don't know about that. But I get your point. I don't know. I don't know with Mason Mount really. That was the summer of Onana, wasn't it? So, I mean, I don't know who takes responsibility for that. I remember Beth was on a flight to Norway for one of our pre-season games that year. I think I'm getting this right. And she was sat next to Darren Fletcher. I think it was Darren Fletcher she was sat next to on the flight to Norway. And he was saying that Ten Hag absolutely loves Mason Mount. And he's so excited that we've signed him. So I think Mount goes down to Ten Hag as well. And Onana bloody does. I mean, look, I think time's been kind on Ten Hag. He won 2 trophies in 2 years. Sir Alex Ferguson signed Jemba and bloody Taibbi. So look, every manager makes a mistake, but I do think Mason Mount was Ten Hag. I think that was his, because there wasn't there something about Ten Hag knowing Mason Mount from Utrecht or something like that as a low knee. So yeah, I think Mason Mount again lands in the lap of Ten Hag. Yeah. He can't take responsibility for Agate. He didn't want Agate. He wanted to keep McTominay, but he does take responsibility for Mason Mount and Onana. His last game was November the 30th against Palace. That's biggest ball knowledge, talking about De Ligt. And same 11s for Spurs. I'd like Mazraoui to replace Dalot, says Brandon. Well, we'll do that tomorrow because it's the preview tomorrow at 8 o'clock. However, Mazraoui played a very important pass into Bruno for the winning goal last week that might have gone unnoticed. So I would like to see Mazraoui taking Dalot's place because he's a better player, but I don't think it'll happen. Looking good, Mark, says Cola Cherry. Well, I love the name. Thank you very much. Had a nightmare. We panic hired Lingard, says Keel Robinson. And any news about club getting sold? Anything, says Chickens Colony. Well, nothing is unfortunately the answer to that. JB says Ian Matson or Adrian Truffert for left back to replace Shaw. I like both of those players actually. I mean, look, there are an abundance of left backs that play in the Premier League that I think would be really good at United. I think you've really profiled two very good ones in Matson and Truffert. Obviously, I like Lewis Hall. I think he's very good at Newcastle as well. And maybe we could actually do some scouting and sign somebody that's, on the continent. But I do like those three because they're Premier League proven and they come straight into the team. I wouldn't want to be signing a younger player because I think that leads to progression, nurturing, time, which we need more players that are ready to go, like Cunha and Burmo. Talking about players ready to go, Ruben Neves will not be coming to Manchester United. He has signed a new 2.5-year deal with Al Hilal, and the contract takes him to 2029. So anybody thinking about Ruben Neves, that was possibly doable in January, but will not be doable now. I just got sent this actually. I mean, it's not. Well, I suppose it is news. I didn't really realize. I was doing the watch along last night for Arsenal against Chelsea, and it was mentioned that Garnacho had said something about United. I wasn't fully aware of what he'd said. So apparently he said, we lost the first game, and I saw a lot of people saying, yeah, but no one won yet at the Emirates. But now I think the view is a little bit different. For example, Man United can beat them, so we can do it perfectly. It's not for everybody, Alejandro. It's not for everybody. So there we go on that one. But look, talking about ex-players, who isn't an ex-player actually, Romano's been talking about Onana, and apparently Man United are already working towards selling Onana at the end of the season. He said, who's going to leave the club? For sure in the summer it's going to be Onana. Onana is on loan at Trabzonspor, and Man United's decision is already quite clear. They're not expected to continue with Onana next summer. The idea is to part ways and find a solution. There were reports in England about a potential return to Inter. I'm not aware of that. His agents were in Milan, yes, but his agents are in a powerful agency who are working on several deals, and they were in Milan on separate topics, not for Onana to return to Inter. But there will be several clubs interested in Onana. He'll assess all his options, and what I can tell you today is that Onana is expected to leave Man United and to try a different kind of experience in the 26-27 season. Well, look, we can all breathe a breathe a breath of fresh air there, can't we? It's certainly something that needs to happen. Sorry, I've just seen something that's AI there. Don't you get fed up with AI? I really do get fed up about AI. Yeah, coming back to that, I've just lost my live chat. Where are you? There you are. Yeah, look, I think in relation to Onana, that's just a breath of fresh air. A sigh of relief, sorry. There can't be a way back for Onana. There wouldn't be a way back for Onana. Man United have been stupid on many things, but I think they know that bringing him back might be the thing that actually does force the Glazers out, because I think there'd be absolute uproar. Look, I do wish Onana all the best. I think we all do, but there can't be a way back. Le Mans has come in. We need to bring another goalkeeper in. Yeah, he was poor. I'm waiting for Patrick Lynch to say something so I can tattoo his words, as he truly has great takes, says Chickens Colony. Oh, it's going off in the chat. It's going off in the chat. Why are we early, Mark? I'm doing Man City against Newcastle, 8 o'clock on That's Football, so a little bit early tonight. Give me some hot takes. I've got a hot take for you. So, Onana's going to be an Uber driver next year, says Parker. Come on. This is a respected footballer. You can't be like that. Evening, Mark, says Mike JW. How are you? Best news of the week. Onana leaving at the end of the season. Would you take Rasmus back? That was just someone in the chat. who's on loan, right? Onana's got to go. Rashford needs to go. Rasmus, I can understand it. I can understand it, right? Because, look, let's play devil's advocate here, because you know what my opinion is. If you didn't watch the video this morning, you need to watch it. It's called This Is Incredible. Man United last season were providing Xerxes and Rasmus with less than 1.8 shots a game. This season, we're providing 3.3 a game for Sesko, which is double the output. Now, if you brought Rasmus back, you don't need to buy a striker. You let Rasmus and Sesko fight it out. We've got European games. One comes off after 70 minutes. It could work. It could work. But the issue is that, and also, it was Amorim's decision to remove Rasmus. A new manager might go, I want him. A new manager might go, I want Rashford. Like, a new manager is not Amorim, so it was Amorim who removed him. But I think this is where, if the club want to be involved in transfers, they've got to say to the next manager, no, hold on a minute. We're not bringing Rashford back. We're not bringing Onana back. And we're not bringing Rasmus back. We're not bringing them back because we're comfortable with those decisions that we made. Ruben Amorim might not be here, but we were part of that board. Ruben Amorim didn't have a veto. Ruben Amorim didn't sit in the room and say, get rid of Rashford and Rasmus, because we had to sign it off as well. So if we bring them back, we're going back on our own decision. So we can't bring them back because it wasn't an exclusive decision made by Ruben Amorim. It also involved Vaval's vote, Wilcox's vote, Barada's vote, Sir Jim's vote. So they'd be going back on what they initially did with any of these players. I firmly believe that going back is not the way to do it anyway. Look, I like Rasmus, and I think if Rashford plays well, he's a fantastic player, but we shouldn't go back. It's risky going back. Like, all the press, all the people that don't like them are ready to go, they're shit. Whereas with a new player, they don't have that baggage. Move on, build your career elsewhere, and yeah, I don't think we go back. In my opinion, there's no need to do it. And the only reason we would do it is because it's cheap. It's because it's cheap, isn't it? You know, they're already on the books. You don't have to sign somebody else. So for me, I wouldn't be falling for that at all. No. Well, we wouldn't be bringing Anthony back, Viz, because we'd have to bloody pay for him again, wouldn't we? And to be honest with you, I don't hear anything about Anthony now. I don't even know if he's doing well at Betis or not. I mean, he's not going to the bloody World Cup, is he? Whereas this time last year, there was talk that he would be. So, yeah, I don't even know what Anthony does anymore. I never hear from him. Yo, Pops, Anthony Davis got traded to the Wizards, says Seb Goldbridge. Okay. Don't even know what that's to do with. I'm going to guess it's basketball. Spencer says sell Onana and Bienda Vitek back on loan. Could be a good call as well. Tom Grant says the decisions are out of our hands. If the club, they are choose to trigger the buy options, says Tom Grant. Yes, very, very good point. Very, very good point, actually. There was some people talking about Rashford returning last week. And I think Barcelona put it out through the press that they're very relaxed about it because Man United can want what they like. If they pay the release clause, it's their player. Same with Napoli and Rasmus. So, yeah, the clubs are in total control there. And I think from Napoli's point of view and Barcelona's point of view, they're going to get good deals there. Marcus Rashford, 29 this year, £25 million, good deal. And Rasmus just turned 23, £40 million. Good deal. So, yeah. Realistically speaking, where do we finish, says Evan Whelan. I mean, look, mate, take your pick. I actually don't really care where we finish between second and fifth. Obviously, I would like to finish second because it's more kudos and more, second's better than third. But as long as we get Champions League football, that's all that matters to me. I can't explain how excited I would be for Man United being in the Champions League football because I really like this format and we've never played in it. I'd be like a kid at Christmas being in that. It'd be great. So I just want us to be in the Champions League. And I think we've got a great opportunity to do it. The only thing that will derail this will be the Glazers and Ineos. Like if we get injuries, then I was looking at Villa's midfield out for most of the season. I was looking at Newcastle's midfield tonight. Bruno G's been out. Joel Linton's out for weeks. So A lot of but you know what? I look at Newcastle's midfield, right? Their best midfield is probably Tonali, Bruno G, Joel Linton. But they've still got Jacob Ramsey, Joe Willock, and I think they've got somebody else. I'm sure they've got somebody else. Well, Lewis Miley can play there, can't he, as well? So they've got 6 options for midfield. You go through Chelsea, again, 6 options. Forget about Arsenal, they've got loads of options. Liverpool have got lots of options as well. They can play people like Curtis Jones in there as well, and Endo. Even Spurs, they've got injuries, but they have got options. Us, we've got no options. And that's the only thing that worries me. Injuries worry me. That's why I'd like to get De Ligt and Mount back, so that if we lose somebody, at least we need to start getting some players back. Thank you very much, Evan. Good question. Welcome to the Members Club, TW Wolf. You're an absolute legend, sir. And Sid T says, with Casemiro, Bruno, Maguire, Dalot potentially gone next season, who would be in the new leadership group? Do you think Cunha and Burmo are ready to step up, and Martinez? Yes, I think you've answered your own question, Siddy. I think people like Mazraoui, De Ligt, Cunha and Burmo, Martinez, these sort of players would be great for the new leadership group. And that we know what, you inadvertently or on purpose, you raise a really good point as well. Our leadership group for the last few years has been people like Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro. It actually does need a reset. And I'd be happy to put people like Mbeumo and Cunha and Martinez and De Ligt and Mazraoui into it. So, yeah, I see that as a positive. I don't think Dalot's off in the summer, by the way, and I don't think Bruno's off in the summer, although Bruno is more likely to go than Dalot. Seb Goldbridge says, you promised to take me to an NBA game, Dad. Seb, stop going to New York without me. Buy me some tickets. Could be the real one, to be fair. Evening, Mark. I just bought a copy of your book. I'm excited to give it a read. Well, Carton, it is a good read. I forget I did it. Football According to Mark Goldbridge. Thank you very much, sir. And if we ever meet, I'll sign it for you as well with me gold pen. Plus, I've done that one from Tom Grant. Thank you very much. We got that as well. And from Evan as well. Thank you too. There was something else I wanted to talk about, and I've completely forgotten what it was. I've spoken about that. Oh, yes, just on the topic of the summer. That was what I said at the start of the show, wasn't it? When you look at Amorim's recruitment, Dorgu in the January, Cunha and Burmo, Sesko, Le Mans, it's not bad, is it? I mean, we'll never get to know who was coming in next, but it wasn't bad. And look, people go, oh, it's Ineos. It's funny how it's Wilcox's. Wilcox takes the credit when it's a good signing, but when it's a bad signing, it's always the manager's. If you understand the way Manchester United work, there is a board. There is a transfer board, and it's very difficult to say who takes responsibility for any signing, and therefore I think. You've got to say that they have been very good signings. I know Dorgu was Amorim's. I know Cunha and Mbeumo were Amorim's. I think Sesko probably wasn't, if we're being honest, because he was about 5th choice. And there's a case to say that Le Mans wasn't either. He probably wanted Martinez. But look, that's the whole point of a transfer board, isn't it? You have to negotiate. You do. But look, whoever's coming in, whoever's doing the recruitment, we do need to continue that, because and also it's not even about quality anymore, is it? It's about quantity, I think. As we've said many times before, look, maybe we're going to buy 2 midfielders in the summer. I think we need 3. Are we going to get a left back? I don't know. I mean, look, one thing that seems to happen with United, we saw it last summer, we've seen it in January. We always seem to come out of a transfer window frustrated. Even if we do business, we're frustrated. Like even when we bought Dorgu last year, it was like, well, where's the attacker? And then Ahmad got injured, and we had no attackers. So even if we get the 2 midfielders in the summer, will we come out of the summer without a left back and be going, we didn't get a left back? That's the thing that's got to change for me. The constant patting each other on the back because they sign good players. That's actually not enough. Signing good players is great, but signing the right players has to go hand in hand with that. So you signed good players in the summer, Cunha, Mbeumo, Le Mans, Sesko. You did sign good players in the summer, but you didn't buy a midfielder. And that was essential. So you can't just pat yourself on the back for signing good players. You've got to bring the players in as well. And I do wonder in the summer what we'll neglect as we focus in on midfielders. Because if we don't get a left back and we don't get a winger, but we get 2 midfielders, we've done it again, haven't we? We can all applaud the fact that we've brought 2 midfielders in, but you've left. You've got to learn about the quantity angle. You've got to learn that you need a squad. You can't keep leaving holes. Certainly not. Right, let me have a quick look at. There was something else I wanted to talk about. I'm just going to quickly look here if I did. Richard Keys and Andy Gray are expected to leave BN Sports at the end of the season. Well, let's just say I don't think there'll be many people queuing up to give them a job in England. That was just a little bit of news. Got nothing to do with Manchester United. Swedish Rumble always says something interesting. He said, the message from the club is that money is tight. This will be interesting. So I've not read anything from Swedish Rumble in a while, but this will be good. He says, the message from the club is that the money is tight. He says, I need help here because I want to answer it with a clear and concise message because it's very misleading and Glazer-esque, but I'm not sure how to put it. So money is tight at Manchester United. Why? That would indicate that the club's financial situation could be sustainable if it was run on a strict budget, like we have money, but we must be careful how we spend it. Man United does not have any money at all. Like many other Premier League clubs, like many companies, Man United needs and will sooner rather than later get a bailout, simply support from its owners. For example, Everton recently received 230 million plus 450 million for a total of 683 million from its owners. Why do I say that Man United is in this position? Very roughly, the club can turn over around 600 to 800 million a year. Right, there's a lot in here. Yeah, I think what he's basically saying is that, as we were saying at lunchtime, this whole money is tight thing, it's not really that money's tight. It's just that they want the perception, the fact that the money's tight, because they probably can spend. It's like Scrooge, isn't it? No one's getting any Christmas presents. No one's getting a rise. I can't afford it. And then you go in the cupboard and there's just loads and loads of money that they want to keep for themselves. And I think that's always been the message, isn't it, from the Glazers? They talk about FFP, they talk about PSR, they talk about debt, they talk about money being tight. They just don't want to spend it. The only thing that's tight is them. Hi, Mark in chat, says Spin. The Man United post about longevity made me laugh. 4 out of the 5 players in the post should have moved on years ago. Says Spin. I don't know what this post is. What is this post? Look, I think when we talk about longevity, and I like some of these players I'm about to mention, Luke Shaw's been here for a decade. Bruno's been here a long time. Maguire's been here a long time. Delow's been here a long time. And they're still fundamental parts of a starting Man United 11. Somewhere in there, that's an issue. I like some of those players, but that's nearly half a team of players that have sacked multiple managers and have been here for a very, very long time. When are you going to make change when change doesn't happen, you know? That rebuild's never happened. That open heart surgery that Rangnick's spoken about has never really happened, does it? The only player I'd really keep is Bruno as a 10 because I just don't think you can replace him. But Delow, Maguire and Shaw, I'd move them on. I mean, Luke Shaw's a conversation, you know. Luke Shaw is a conversation. I don't actually think he's that good at left-back anymore. I said this about Maguire when Amorim left. Maguire was very happy with Amorim, and he was playing very well with Amorim because Maguire in a back 3 really works because he doesn't get left on his own and he doesn't have to worry about his pace. Maguire in a back 4 works when you play like you did against Man City and Arsenal on the edge of your box, compact and counter. But at the minute you go to the halfway line, as we saw a couple of times on Saturday, he will struggle. But Luke Shaw, this back 4 thing is terrible for him. Luke Shaw in a back 3 as a left-sided centre-back, again, it works. He's got people around him. He doesn't need to do as much running. But Luke Shaw as a left-back, I bet privately he's shitting himself. He's like, as a left-sided centre-back, I wasn't doing much, and then I was staying fit for the World Cup. As a left-back, I've got to run a lot. So I don't think he's got the legs for it anymore. And this is somebody that I have said in the past is a world-class left-back, but I don't think he's capable of that anymore. I really don't. And I certainly don't think he'll be able to do it next season. We might get through this season with him, but I don't think he's... Look, hot take or bad take, I actually thought Dalot was the better fullback by a long way against Fulham. A lot more energetic, a lot quicker, got forward better. And that might be a crazy take, but I think Dalot did quite well against Fulham. I know at the end of the game he was defensively suspect, but going forward and energy, I thought he was better. Would you take Victor Osimhen as the senior striker? Yes. Yes. I think there are... Look, I really do want to see Benjamin Sesko do well at Manchester United, but there's probably 3 or 4 strikers I would take and drop Sesko straight away for. Harry Kane, Erling Haaland, Victor Osimhen, and, well, obviously Mbappe, but I was thinking about somebody else. Who was I thinking about? Out-and-out striker. Oh, yeah, Gyökeres. No, I'm joking. But no, I think Victor Osimhen's... It's criminal that Victor Osimhen has never prioritised coming to the Premier League, because I think he'd do really well. Really, really well. Maguire outside box turns into Phil Jones as Chicken's Colony. Thank you very much for that. And there we go. Okay, right. I'm on That's Football for Manchester City against Newcastle. Tomorrow night, we're back in the 8 o'clock slot, and it's a live preview. Thank you so much for everybody who watched the video this morning called This Is Incredible. It's about United's amazing improvement this season in creativity, shots, and where they shoot from. Check it out if you didn't see it. Got a couple of more of those coming as well, so very glad that you liked it. But tomorrow night is the 8 o'clock preview for Spurs. Remember, that's a Saturday 12:30 game. We've got Ben Jacobs on the show tomorrow, who I'm hoping is going to explain the secret midfielder story, because I've seen a lot of people going, oh, Ben Jacobs a fraud and a liar. I know the story. Hopefully he's going to share it tomorrow, because it's an interesting story. Also, I'm back with you on the 10 o'clock show. So good day. The weekend starts on Thursday. Don't miss the shows on the United Stand. And remember, in early December, YouTube launched the yearly wrapped thing where you can be in the top 1% for this channel. So you need to watch the shows. I'm just going to keep reminding you about that. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. And I'll speak to you on the next one. Oh, I'll actually speak to you on That's Football. We had a great show last night. Loads and loads of... If you get over to the live chat there, get ready with some start bench sells, because we had some great ones last night. Take care.